Yeah, I saw your rig, and it's yeah. I saw one of these like on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, is it really cost like $200,000 or something?
Yeah.
$200,000?
Yeah.
Man.
The sticker's about 300, but they go for like low 200s, mid 200s.
Wow. So this is supposed to be called like Super C.
Super C, yep.
Super C means it's kind of like a diesel 450 chassis or something.
It's a class 6, I think it is. So it's the step up. It's like a 7 or 850 would be, but it's a Freightliner. It's on. It's one step down from a semi.
Oh yeah, yeah. So probably this is like the biggest Ford chassis.
It's a Freightliner. It's not a Ford.
Oh, it's a Freightliner.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
yeah.
it's
So
a
Ford doesn't make one that big. So it's Freightliner. It's Freightliner smaller truck, like the same thing you see like a moving truck or a school bus.
Right.
The limousines they make them on.
Okay. Okay. And how many slides do you have?
2.
Okay.
It's a bunkhouse model, so there's a bedroom slide and then a living room slide.
Okay. And you're towing a trailer, and the trailer you carry your
I got
Jeep.
a Jeep and I got a motorcycle, and then I got spare parts.
大家有看到这个雪有多深了吗？Yeah, so sorry to bother you. Just a quick question. Yeah, yesterday I tried to film your rig, and it's out of power, probably too cold. I'm kind of like just trying to film, different rigs if it's like a very special, and this setup it's actually my first time seeing it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I just want to ask a couple questions. What do you think about it? Yeah. Why you are do this setup instead of the Class A, a towing, or even kind of like a fifth wheel towing. Sure. It's just a very different mentality, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
You just want to have a Super C, and to tow a 20,000-pound thing. And what's the weight of your enclosed trailer? Looks pretty heavy.
It's a 14,000-pound trailer.
14,000-pound trailer.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
me?
me?
That's what it's rated for. Yeah.
14,000.
It weighs about 10,000 with the way I've got it loaded with all the Jeep, motorcycle, and then all my tools and spare parts. About 10,000 pounds, what it actually weighs.
Okay, 10,000 pounds. That's about my trailer's weight.
Yeah.
My trailer is like 9,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And this is a 10.
Yeah.
Wow. So could you tell me why made you actually doing that instead of a fifth wheel?
Well, so fifth wheels, I don't think there exists, aside from maybe like the guys that make the horse trailers. There's not a fifth wheel that exists that'll haul a full-size Jeep. The Jeep weighs 6,000 pounds, and so there's just toy haulers. They don't make them that have that kind of weight capacity, and so that really was not an option for me.
I mean, if you have a truck, truck can do off-roads, right? And so you can
not like a Jeep.
Not like Jeep.
No,
not even Raptor style or
No, Raptors are good for running through the desert, but when you get in the rocks, the pickup trucks are just too big. Honestly, that's kind of too big. A lot of the stuff that I'm in, it's pretty tight.
Okay, so your Jeep is like specifically
it's a rock,
kind of like
rock crawler. It's
rock
called.
crawler.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your thing, right?
Yep, exactly.
Well,
so,
yeah,
so that was the purpose. I mean, the camper was to support going out and doing rock crawling with the Jeep, and so it had to be able to tow the Jeep.
Okay, so what you have down is actually just made for the Jeep.
Right.
So Jeep is your priority.
Yeah, exactly. And then we added the motorcycle just to be able to, ride motorcycles when we go places too. So
you bought a Super C, and for $200,000, and I guess the enclosed trailer is also very expensive.
No,
this one.
That one was about $8,000. That was it wasn't a.
That's really a very, very different perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you inside the off-roading world, there's a lot of people that have these Super Cs. They actually make some that are on Class 8, like semi chassis, they're even bigger, even heavier, and they can tow 2 or 3 Jeeps. And there's stuff even bigger out there.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to Pismo Beach.
Yep.
I saw someone has very similar, like a climber, like kind of like a side by side. Mm-hmm. And I guess these like a specialized side-by-sides also can do climbing, rocks.
Yep.
So why didn't you go for that route?
It's a different kind of experience doing that. So I've liked building the Jeep. That was my daily driver actually when I was at home, and so I drove that to work every day too. And you can't do that in a side-by-side.
Oh, okay. So you built that actually?
Yeah, I did all the work myself.
Okay, so you bought a regular Jeep and modify everything.
Yep.
So that's the
Exactly.
okay. That's accomplishment. Right. One little question. What do? You can have you sold your home and
No.
to purchase this one, or you just
No, I'm a civil engineer, and I have a home in Chicago.
you're from Chicago?
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yep.
I just moved from Chicago.
Really? Where?
So like last year in summer, I live in Naperville,
Okay. Yeah,
Naperville, Aurora
Yep.
area.
I work in Willowbrook.
What is that?
Willowbrook?
Willowbrook, right? In the north.
No, southwest, like 55 and 294.
So
It's civil engineering, so it's like roadways, drainage,
yeah,
that type
okay.
of stuff.
Infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly.
I've met some people like doing like a really fancy rigs, and some of them are actually they sold their home and live
Sure.
on the rig like entirely.
Yeah.
So this is just very different story to me, you know.
Sure. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and yeah.
Enjoy the powder tomorrow. You're gonna go
Yeah,
out.
definitely. Today I want to go to, but it's just
You
you
didn't
know
miss
just
anything.
like that.
You didn't miss
storm.
anything today. Everything
Yeah.
was closed today, so.
There was one time I've been to one ski resort and I finished one round and they closed the whole thing. So I drove like an hour or something to there and they closed it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
that's bad.
We got to the Calif side and got all geared up and walked up there, and they told us all that was open was the Bunny Hill, and so we had to take our boots off and drive around to the Nevada side, and they had one chairlift running on blue runs over there today. It was all there was. 'Cause
Okay,
it was
that's
so windy, everything was closed.
but you still can like ride one of the chairs to the top and go down to the Nevada side.
Today you couldn't. It was
Couldn't,
closed.
okay.
Even the gondola was closed.
Gunlock's cool. Okay. You actually drove this rig from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
What's the story behind that? Why is this so far away from?
Well, we're going to a big off-road race in Johnson Valley, so it's about, I don't know, a couple hundred miles from here, but it's out here in California, so we're coming out here for that.
Off-road racing. Okay, so that's your Jeep.
Yep.
So you drove all the way from Chicago for how many days?
We're actually out for a year right now. We're traveling all over the country in our rig right now.
Good. You got kind of like a vacation for so long?
Yeah, sabbatical.
Sabbatical.
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
Just taking a year off and
Okay, gap
Travel.
year, kind of.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Okay, hopefully I can see you tomorrow. You know,
Sounds good,
somewhere
yeah. We'll talk
in the
to you later.
mountain.
Have a good one.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem.
大家好，我是 Bruce。然后呢，昨天我就碰到这个邻居，然后我发现他的那个房车非常特别，大家可以看到他那个房车非常大。然后呢，我就问了一下，发现他那个房车确实不是福特底盘，我一开始以为是这种 C 型 或者 A 型房车，但它确实不是。它这种房车呢，在美国它有专门不同的一个类别的，这个类别呢叫 Super C， 就是超级 C 型房车，也就是说介于那个 A 型房车跟 C 型房车之间的一种。然后它用的底盘是美国的这种卡车公司叫 Freightliner 的一个底盘。然后我对那个卡车公司不是非常了解，但是呢，据他说是。这个卡车公司的那个底盘也分就是大小的，所以它这个算是就是卡车里面算是比较小的底盘，但是呢比一般的福特什么450、550什么都要大，所以呢它这个底盘呢就表示它可以拖很多拖很重的东西，所以我刚才也问了他一下，他就说他的主要的目的呢就是为了拖吉普的那个越野车，然后是过来参加一个那个越野比赛，他这样的状态已经在外面旅行已经1年了。所以，在美国呢是这种方式其实很多的，就很多人都是在路上的，不像我们中国可能它有户籍限制呢，就是每个人可能只能待在一个地方。美国很多人就是把自己房子卖掉，或者说是不把房子卖掉也可以，反正就是在那个房车里面，然后一直在那边旅行。所以今天我算是见识了一个非常与众不同的一个房车的一个故事。像我们华人的话，可能就是房车都小一点，像这种老外呢，他们玩的房车都比我们大一点，它里面只有2个人在住，还有一条狗，所以他们就这样2个人，然后就这么大一个房车，是超级 C 型的房车然后我现在这个地方呢，我是前几天呢，就是把房车拖到从那个南加州洛杉矶那边又拖回到北加州，我就是中间停了1个晚上，拖了2天，然后拖回到北加州的太阳湖这边。然后呢，我要在这边待一段时间，可能1个月多吧。所以在这边呢，今天就是太阳湖这边经常下雪因为下雪连滑雪场都关门了所以大家可以看一下这个雪到底有多厚。